So last time I had skipped one to get to one that was a little bit more like one of the problems on group work. And so I'd skip number 32. So this is when we're adding and subtracting rational expressions and they don't start out with a common denominator. So our first thing to do is determine what the common denominator is. So here, the denominators are x minus 2 squared, and that really already is factored. It means x minus 2 times x minus 2. And the other denominator, oops, didn't have parentheses, is just x minus 2. So then the LCD is x minus 2 times x minus 2. Okay, so you can do it the exact same way we did it last time. I'm just going to try to get it to be a little bit of a shorter process. I'm going to skip all the way to the step where I write it over the LCD. So I'm kind of skipping 2 steps that I had done last time. So now think of doing those steps or what we would have to do in those steps, but we're just not going to write them out. So if I look at the first fraction, is there anything we need to multiply top and bottom by so that it has the LCD? No, it already is over the LCD. So we don't need to multiply top and bottom by anything. So it just stays 5x. Minus 3. Now, is there, in that fraction, is there anything we need to multiply top and bottom by? X minus 2. So if we multiply the bottom by x minus 2, then we'd have x minus 2 times x minus 2, which is the LCD. And then now I've multiplied the top by the LCD. So now the next step is to distribute. We want to get rid of parentheses. Or I should ask, can we cancel those x minus 2's? No, it's not factored, right? This negative is not inside parentheses, so it's not factored. So we have to distribute the negative 3. So we get 5x, negative 3 times x is negative 3x, and negative 3 times negative 2 is positive 6. And you can write x minus 2 times x minus 2, or you can write x minus 2 squared either way. And now is there anything we can do to simplify in the numerator? Yeah, combine the 5x and 3x, right? So 5x minus 3x is 2x. And I'm just going to write x minus 2 squared this time. So the bottom is completely factored. Is there anything we could do to factor the top? We could take a 2 out, and then we'd be left with x plus 3 over x minus 2 squared. But nothing cancels, okay? None of the factors are the same in the top and the bottom. So that's just our answer. And MathXL might accept your answer this way as well. It never wants you to multiply out in the denominator. It always wants the denominator in parentheses. So never multiply out the denominator. Okay, so 56. So again, 2 different denominators. So the first one is y squared minus 81. Can we do anything to factor that? Yeah, it's the difference of squares, right? Y plus 9, y minus 9. And then they actually already do have the second denominator factored for us. 2 times y plus 9. I'm just going to stick the 2 in front there. So then the LCD is 2 times y plus 9 times y minus 9. So I'm going to go ahead and skip to the step where I just make one big fraction over the LCD. So remember, y squared minus 81, that's y plus 9 times y minus 9. That's how we factored it. So when I look at the first fraction, is there anything we need to multiply top and bottom by to get it to be over the LCD? 2, right? It already has the y plus 9 and the y minus 9. The only thing that's missing is the 2. So 27 times 2, and then we've already multiplied the denominator by 2. Plus 3. Okay, so look at that fraction. Is there anything we need to multiply top and bottom by to get it to be over the LCD? Y minus 9. Can I cancel the y minus 9s? No, it's not factored because of that plus. That's outside of parentheses. So instead, in the numerator, we have to multiply out. So 27 times 2, that's 54. And then distribute the 3. So plus 3y minus 27. Can we simplify in the top at all? Yeah, the 54 minus 27 gives us positive 27. Okay, so the denominator is already completely factored. Is there anything we can do in the numerator? Take out a 3, and then what's left? Y plus 9. So will this simplify? Yeah, because the y plus 9s, y plus 9 over y plus 9 makes 1. So then what we're left with is 3 times 1, or 3, over 2 times y minus 9. Uh-huh. It's not in parentheses with it, right? There are 3 totally separate factors in the denominator. The 2 is 1, the y plus 9 is 1, and the y minus 9 is 1. Oops, sorry. Okay, so the next one. So again, 2 different denominators. So let's look at the first one, x squared plus 12x plus 20. And we want to see if we can do anything to factor that. Well, if we can, it's got to be x and x. What would the signs be? Both plus. What factors would work? 10 and 2. And it doesn't matter what order you put them in. And now x squared plus 8x minus 20. Well, I don't want to put them right underneath. I like to line them up. You don't have to worry about that. But I'll do it kind of as scratch work underneath and then think about lining them up. So it would have to be x and x. What would the signs be? Plus and minus. What goes with the plus? 10. And minus goes with the 2. So we already have a place for x plus 10. X minus 2 is new. So the LCD is x plus 10. X plus 2, x minus 2. So I'm going to go straight to the step where I write it as one big fraction. Okay, so the first numerator is x plus 4. Now, we may or may not have to multiply that by something. If we do, we have to multiply the whole thing, the whole x plus 4 by it. So in case I do, I'm going to put it in parentheses. So when it started out, it was over x squared plus 12x plus 20, which factored as x plus 10 times x plus 2. So do we need to multiply top and bottom by anything? Yeah, x minus 2. I'm going to change this actually to be a minus sign in between because I think the one on group work has a minus. And then the same thing here. I might have to multiply top and bottom by something, so I'm going to put the x plus 1 in parentheses. And the x plus 1 was originally over x squared plus 8x minus 20, which factored as x plus 10 times x minus 2. So do we need to multiply top and bottom of that by anything? X plus 2. Can I cancel these x plus 2's? No. It's not factored. This minus is not in parentheses. So the top is not factored, so we can't cancel anything. So what I want to do is the bottom is going to stay just like that. In the top, I'm going to do FOIL here and here. And I'm going to leave it in parentheses, especially because the second one is being subtracted. So I want to do FOIL first, and then after that, we'll worry about distributing the negative. So first, just worry about FOIL. So first times first is x squared. Outside would be minus 2x. Inside's plus 4x. And last, minus 8. And then I'll do FOIL here. So x times x is x squared. Outside plus 2x. Inside plus 1x, or just plus x. And last plus 2. The denominator you never ever multiply out. Okay, so now the first one, just think there's a 1 in front. So if you distribute a 1, you just get all those terms back. X squared minus 2x plus 4x minus 8. But in this one, there's a negative 1 that we have to distribute to every one of those terms. So negative 1 times x squared, so negative x squared. Negative 1 times positive 2, so negative 2x. Negative 1 times negative 1 times positive x would be negative x. And negative 1 times positive 2 is negative 2. Now we're going to look to combine like terms. What about the x squared terms? They cancel, right? Plus x squared minus x squared. Okay, now there are a bunch of x terms. I'm going to do these two together. Negative 2x plus 4x would give us what? Positive 2x. And minus 2x minus x would give us minus 3x. So we have plus 2x minus 3x. What would that give us? Minus x. And then we have negative 8 minus 2, negative 10. Is there anything we can do in the top? Is there anything we could do to factor? Yeah, let's take out a negative 1. Then what's left? X plus 10. And that matches one of the factors in the denominator. So they would cancel. They make 1. And so we just have negative 1 over x plus 2, x minus 2. Let's see what would have happened if I had kept the plus in the original problem. And we can just do that on the back. I'll leave it on this side and do it on scratch paper, but you can do it on the back. The only thing that would be different is I wouldn't have to distribute a negative. So if we kept the plus, we'd just have x squared minus 2x plus 4x minus 8, and then all of these would be plus. Plus x squared plus 2x plus x plus 2. So now what happens with the x squared terms? We get 2x squared, right? They don't cancel this time. So we get 2x squared. But I have a minus 2x and a plus 2x, so they cancel. And then I have plus 4x plus x, which would be plus 5x. And minus 8 plus 2, minus 6. Well, then we'd have to see if we can factor the top still. And you can do guess and check. I'll maybe think about using that AC method, or the grouping method. So I look at 2 times negative 6, which is negative 12. And we want factors of negative 12 that would add up to what? 5. And let's see if we can do that. So we could do negative 1 and 12, negative 2 and 6, negative 3 and 4. Do any of those add up to 5? No. So that's prime. So we couldn't factor the top. So this would just be our answer. Okay. One last problem. And here we have 3 fractions. So we've got to look at 3 denominators. So x squared plus 5x, or plus 6x plus 5. If we can factor that, it's x and x. And what are the signs? Yeah, both plus. What factors? 5 and 1. That's the only way to factor 5. And those work. That would give me the plus 6 in the middle. I'm going to do the x squared minus 1 next. You can do them in whatever order you want. That one's just easier because that's the difference of squares. So I already have an x plus 1, and then I'd have an x minus 1. And then so I have the one in the middle left. I'll do it as scratch work underneath, and then I'll line them up under the right places. So it'd have to be x and x. What would the signs be? Plus and minus. What goes with the plus? 5. And 1 goes with the minus. And we have places for each of those factors already. X plus 5, x minus 1. So our LCD is x plus 5, x plus 1, x minus 1. So I'm going to go to the step where I put it as one big fraction. Okay, so the first fraction had an 8 in the top. So now I want to see, do we have to multiply top and bottom of that fraction by anything to get the LCD? X minus 1, right? This denominator factored as x plus 5, x plus 1. So the only thing missing was x minus 1. Minus 3x. Now remember, I did the denominators out of order. So this denominator was the last one. X plus 5, x minus 1. So do we need to multiply by anything? X plus 1 plus 2, and that was the x plus 1, x minus 1. So do we need to multiply that by anything? X plus 5. Can I cancel the x plus 5s? No, because it's not factored in the top. Okay, so the first thing we have to do, the bottom is already factored. The bottom is fine. It's the top that we need to take care of. So we need to distribute, multiply everything out. Okay, so 8 times x is 8x. 8 times negative 1 is negative 8. Negative 3x times x is negative 3x squared. Negative 3x times positive 1 is negative 3x. Positive 2 times x plus 2x. And positive 2 times positive 5. Okay. So I'm going to go from the largest power down to the smallest. And there's only one term with x squared, so that one just comes first. And then there are 3 terms that have x. So when we combine those, what do we get? 7, right? 8 minus 3 is 5 plus 2 is 7. And then minus 8 plus 10 plus 2. Okay, so now we would have to see if the top factors, and I'm going to try that same thing I just did. Negative 3 times positive 2 is negative 6. And we would want factors of negative 6 that add up to what? 7. So let's see, if it's negative 6, we could do negative 1 and 6 or negative 2 and 3. Either of those add up to 7? No. It would only work if we wanted factors of positive 6, right? Because then we could use negative 1 and negative 6, and or positive 1 and positive 6, and they would add up to 7, but not when it's negative 6. Okay. So we can't simplify at all since we can't factor the top. So that's our final answer.